If anxious attachers could learn how to do this one thing, it would massively improve your relationships and your life as well. Hi, I'm Amy and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. I'm a certified attachment style coach and I help anxious attachers break the cycle of avoidant and emotionally unavailable partners so that you can really thrive in your independence and prevent future heartbreak. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about emotional regulation and nervous system regulation. And when you can get this down, you guys, when you can learn how to do this, it's going to greatly improve your relationships and really how you move about your day-to-day life. Because as anxious attachers, we learn from a very, very early age to soothe through other people. And when the people that we soothed through went away or abandoned us, we were hit with feelings of rejection, of not being good enough, and also we weren't really taught how to actually regulate ourselves. So when we get into our adult relationships, we still have this pattern of soothing through other people, and we suffer with chronic loneliness. So when we don't have anybody to soothe through, we have all this energy that we don't really know what to do with. We feel abandoned, we feel lonely, rejected, all of that horrible stuff, the neediness, the desperation that we don't really know what to do with. But I'm going to teach you how to do that in this video. But before I start, I do have a 6-week self-study course, which is the exact blueprint of how I healed my anxious attachment style to secure. The link is in my bio, so you can go and check that out. But let's get into the video. So let's start with what is nervous system regulation. So as anxious attachers, we are versed in feeling anxious, hence the name of the attachment style. We feel anxious in relationships. And if we feel anxious in relationships, what we tend to do is react and act through that anxiety. So we are seeing relationships through the lens of anxiety. Now, what does this mean? Now, it might mean that when we're in a relationship with somebody, that we're constantly scanning for threat. Now, when we say threat, I mean constantly scanning to look for reasons why this person is going to leave us. One really, really good example of this is jealousy in a relationship. Maybe your partner has a female friend, and for whatever reason, you become obsessed with that female friend. And again, no judgment on this channel, you guys. I've heard it all before. I've probably done it. But I've had clients in the past that have got completely obsessed with female friends of their partners. So they will look on their Facebook pages, they will Google this person, they will constantly ask about this person. If their partner is going out, they will want to know if this female is going to be there. And again, it sounds like paranoia, but actually, if you can put yourself in the world of the anxious attacher, it is completely understandable. Because when we grew up, the people who we trusted with our emotions, the people who were supposed to keep us emotionally safe, didn't. And what's really common in anxious attachers is that we had repeated emotional or physical abandonments as children. So sometimes our caregivers were there, sometimes they did help us soothe our emotions, but other times they didn't. And anxious attachers grow up feeling like their feelings don't matter, that they don't matter, that they're not a priority, that they will always be abandoned. And we live our life through that lens. And a lot of this is to do with a dysregulated nervous system. So as adults, we're consciously aware that if our partner should leave us, as an adult, we will survive. But when we are in these relationships and our abandonment wound is triggered, for example, through jealousy, that child part of us comes online. And that child part of us does not believe that we will survive without this person. And this makes complete sense when you see it that way, when you see it as it's not my adult mind thinking that I won't survive without this person. It's actually the child part of you that comes online that believes that it won't. Because when you were younger, and you were abandoned, either emotionally or physically abandoned, you wouldn't survive without your parents. So actually, it's completely understandable. It might seem irrational right now, but actually, when you can understand how that works, it's actually completely understandable. So I don't want anyone shaming themselves, thinking that they're weak or that they should be able to cope and they're not coping, that they feel like they're going to die and they don't know why, and they feel like they're in such pain and can't understand why. So when we learn how to regulate our own nervous systems, what we are doing is feeling safe within our body, because when we are in the throes of feeling triggered and our nervous system's being dysregulated, we look to other people to soothe that emotion. So we're looking for our partner to soothe our anxiety. Now, what we're really looking for is emotional safety. And that is what you can provide for yourself. You can provide emotional safety for yourself. And again, this is a practice, but it can be done. And if you can do it consistently, it doesn't need to take that long. So when it is that you feel triggered by abandonment, I know that it can feel really, really overwhelming. But the first thing I want you to do is breathe. Focus on breathing, because when it is that you're afraid, your breathing becomes really shallow. You're not getting the oxygen into your body, which actually makes the anxiety worse. So I want you to put your hand on your chest and focus on breathing. Try to take deep breaths if you can. Don't panic if you can't, but just be aware that you are actually breathing. This is the first step. The second step is I want you to focus on your feet on the ground. So I want you to almost feel what it's like to be inside your foot. I know that sounds really strange, but it works. I want you to feel what it's like to be on the inside of your foot and feel the pressure of your foot on the ground. Now, what this is going to do is it's really going to ground you inside your body. And I want you to take 3 really deep, slow breaths. And I want you to really focus at the same time. I want you to really focus on that foot at the same time, because what you're going to do is you're going to bring yourself out of your mind and into your body. And when you can do that, when you can really start to ground yourself, you will automatically start to feel a little bit better. Now, when you've grounded yourself, I want you to remind yourself that you are safe, and relax your shoulders a little bit, because I know when I'm feeling anxious, my shoulders are up here, I'm breathing like, you're really afraid. But when you can ground yourself inside your body and really start to install the belief that I am safe in my own body, I can soothe myself. I don't need to run to other people to soothe myself anymore. I can do this. And when you can repeatedly do this, when you can start and maintain this new pattern, what you're telling your subconscious mind is that actually I don't need to frantically text my ex today to feel okay. I can feel okay just on my own. And when you can do that, when you can start to ground yourself and start to regulate yourself, you will start to feel safe on your own. You're not going to feel so abandoned all the time. And what's going to happen over time is that you're going to start seeing life through that lens, the I am safe lens. So it isn't the lens of I'm abandoned and rejected anymore. It's the I'm safe and perfectly fine on my own lens. So a few things are going to happen. You're going to stop scanning for threat and danger. You're going to stop scanning for threat of abandonment all the time. You're going to feel less afraid of rejection. You're going to feel more confident because you're not needing anybody else as a crutch. You're not needing anybody else to soothe you. You will start to believe that you can handle any emotion that comes up, that no emotion is too overwhelming for you. Now, I'm not saying, you guys, that you have to do this 100% perfectly, because of course we're going to want to share things with friends, but there is a difference between sharing something and emotionally dumping on somebody. And I don't want to call anxious attachers out on this, because I've done exactly the same thing where I have completely emotionally dumped on other people. And what it's actually caused me to do is stay in this really small, fearful victim state where I felt at the mercy of other people to soothe me. And it just didn't work for me. It just made me feel really frustrated. It made me feel really trapped. And actually by doing this, by being able to regulate myself, it was actually really freeing. And the more and more you can do it, you guys, you will notice that these feelings don't last long. They probably last about 90 seconds. You might feel them frequently throughout the day, but you know what to do with it. Before you jump on the phone, panicked, ground yourself first, breathe, remind yourself that I am safe right now. I am safe. I am perfectly capable of soothing myself of this feeling. I'm going to breathe through this feeling. I'm going to be there for myself. I'm going to be there for myself right now. I don't need anybody else. And the more you can do that, the more you are going to install the belief that you can take care of business now. You're going to become less dependent on relationships when you can do this. And as a bonus note, you're actually going to stop being attracted to people that dismiss your emotions, because you're not dismissing your emotions anymore. You're being there for your emotions. You're doing your best to try and understand them. You're soothing your own emotions. So the minute someone insinuates to you that your feelings don't matter, or they dismiss how you feel, your alarm bells are going to ring and think, that's not acceptable to me anymore. I'm not available for that. And you're going to be able to act accordingly. So I hope that video helped. If it did and you like this content, please consider subscribing to this channel. Leave any stories you want in the comment box. I do love to read them and respond to them. But thanks so much for watching this video. I'm Amy, and it's an absolute pleasure to help you improve your self-worth. I'll see you next time.